of the year again when we start talking about odds and evens. That time of the year when the national capital reaches collectively for its face masks and, in some cases, nebulizers. When the most vulnerable, children and the elderly, literally gasp for breath. Like every year, the conversations will revolve over whether the odd-even scheme works, whether crop burning or stubble burning can be curbed, and of course, whether firecrackers should be lit during Diwali. But those aren't necessarily the most relevant questions. The issue of Delhi's pollution was burnished in the national consciousness, in a sense, with these images of the Sri Lankan cricket team having to play in Delhi with face masks on. A lot has happened before and after that, including the odd-even scheme and the Supreme Court effectively banning firecrackers, etc. But this image really made everyone sit up and take notice. The question is, has enough been done since then? Have we actually moved beyond the annual ritual of announcing an odd-even scheme like the Chief Minister of Delhi did today and then giving exceptions? By the way, AQI, that is the air quality index in Delhi, has already touched to 304 yesterday. That puts it in a very poor category. So have we not seen any substantial improvements despite a scheme like the odd-even one being in practice since 2016, and why? To speak more on this, I'm joined today by Akshay Marathe of the Aam Aadmi Party, Narendra Taneja of the BJP, Kailash Vastev, senior advocate and of course amicus curiae in the fight against pollution in the Delhi High Court, and Rumi Ajaz, senior fellow ORF. Welcome to all of you and thank you so much for joining us. In fact, let me start with you, Mr. Vastev, on the very basic question. It's not as if there is a lack of awareness about the extent of the issue in Delhi. It's in fact well known internationally as well. It isn't as if there is a lack of focus from even the top court of the country. Why do you think we haven't seen a substantial enough improvement even after so many years?
The issue of pollution in Delhi is as old as history. The intentions of the government to eliminate pollution does not exist. From 1996, the Supreme Court issued the first orders to get rid of unleaded fuel and move it across into to get rid of leaded fuel and move it to the unleaded fuels. So Supreme Court took the first steps. Between 1996 and date, there have been orders by the tribunals, there have been orders by the courts and everybody. Affidavits have been filed by the government of Delhi, as also by the National Planning Board, that they will reduce the pollution. Nothing has happened. Let's come to the ground. Today an announcement has been made that from effective the first week of November, we'll be having a odd and even scheme as far as vehicles are concerned. Delhi has 1.6 crore odd registered vehicles, out of which 70 lakhs are two-wheelers. So that leaves you with 30 odd lakhs which are four-wheelers. And now in the Eastern and Western Expressway, trucks don't come into Delhi. So you are really going to be controlling 30,000 cars and 30 lakh cars and 70 lakh two-wheelers to which it won't apply. How does pollution stop? Pollution by two-wheelers is much more than it is by by four-wheelers. But it doesn't apply to them. They've been exempted for political considerations. Come to the second part of it. The burning of stubble has not stopped in spite of assurances. Central government has done nothing. State governments are not doing anything. Same situation is repeated year after year. Who suffers? It's people who stay in the NCR region, per se, totally. The maximum impact is on children who go to schools. So there is no interest in government. They will only talk, issue advertisements, spend crores of rupees on advertisements. We've done this. We've reduced pollution. This is the best 5 years that we have had in Delhi. 5 years because the elected party has been there. So there is no intention. There is no intention of restoring forests. There is no intentions of bringing about a green cover in a scientific way. You are planting shrubs, calling them trees. You are planting all sorts of small plants and saying that these will take care of the oxygen and the carbon dioxide. It's not going to happen till you don't have a holistic policy and a serious intent to tackle the situation. San Francisco tackled it in the 1960s. England tackled it all over the time. Why can't we do it in Delhi?
You know, you have
Are
hit
we so extraordinarily stupid that we can't handle this kind of a situation?
Sir, you have hit the nail on the head.
No, because that's the only word I can use. We've been amicus curiae. We've been working in the courts, we've been trying to get information from the Delhi. The courts have taken suo motu cognizance, but these gentlemen are not bothered excepting for putting advertisements, announcing all sorts of things which are incorrect, factually wrong, and misleading the people.
No, absolutely.
You're going to have no succor from this. It's going to get worse.
Absolutely. You know, what an absolutely relevant point you have made, Mr. Vastev, because, you know, that's the question. You have this, I was seeing the visuals today of the Chief Minister announcing this odd-even scheme and saying that, you know, I'm going to be an exception. And in my mind, I knew what the debates on the evening shows are going to look like. Is odd even worth it? Is it not? What are we doing? What are we doing enough? It just seems like drops in the ocean. Before I go to the politicians on my panel, I want to come to Rumi Ejaz, just to add to what Mr. Vastev said and your perspective. He puts it quite bluntly, saying, are we so stupid that we cannot solve this problem? And I want to put that question to you. Is it so, you know, unsurmountable? If it's an issue of not letting stubble be burnt at the same time in 3 or 4 states which are aligned to the NCR region, can we not make that happen? Can we not have better, you know, safeguards in place instead of this odd even ritual we see every year?
Yeah, certainly I would agree with the previous speaker about not enough being done by the administration towards attending to the problem. There are numerous examples of deficiencies on the part of the administration. Most of this has been documented, many people are aware of this, but the basic point that is emerging from the situation that prevails is that it's an inadequate effort on the part of the administration. You know, this is also a reflection on the quality of governance. When you visit some nations of the world, when you go to some cities, you feel a lot of difference when you compare it with Indian cities, and that shows the quality of governance. But in our part of the world, by which I mean India, the quality of governance is not up to the mark. And there are numerous examples of the cities not being looked after properly. My major point here is that the manner in which the administration is working, if they continue to work in such a manner, the issue will remain unaddressed.
Okay, let me come now to Akshay Marathe and Narendra Taneja. You, of course, representing the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party in power in Delhi, the BJP in power in the centre. And I think, Akshay, let me come to you first. Mr. Vastev put it very well, saying it is a failure. It is a failure of governance. This odd even ritual, you know, I think it takes away focus from the real questions and debate over whether odd even works or not, because vehicular pollution from four-wheelers is at the end of the day a smaller proportion of what the problem really is about.
You know, let's start by placing some facts. Fact number 1 is that this year September was the best September in terms of air quality in the last 9 years. And this is despite, mind you, that Delhi has had deficient rainfall this year. We have not had adequate rainfall. Despite that, Delhi's air quality in September was the best in 9 years. Throughout the year, as the Central Pollution Control Board reported to the Parliament of India, Delhi's PM 2.5 concentration has reduced by 25%. These are undeniable, undisputed facts. I would really appreciate if you start your program by saying that throughout the year, from January to September, Delhi's pollution this year has been one of the best in the last 5 years. Now, if there is any challenge to this fact, I can respond to it. But we have to understand and accept that there is a difference between September and October. What is the difference? The difference is that 1, crop burning begins in Punjab and Haryana, and 2, temperature inversion takes place, because of which the smoke gets collected and accumulated on top of the Earth's environment, especially in this part of the northern Indian plains. Now, I want to understand from those who are blaming Delhi and Delhi's people and Delhi's government, has the number of vehicles increased from September to October? Has the number of industries increased from September to October? Has the population of Delhi increased suddenly that more polluting elements have been added to the city between September and October? No. The only thing that has changed is that crop burning has begun and the smoke from the farms of Punjab and Haryana are entering Delhi, and Delhi has faced these consequences of this for the last 5 years, especially in the months of October and November. And I want to ask this question: why are these difficult questions not being put to the central government, the state governments of Punjab and Haryana? Crop burning fires
I'll tell you 1 minute.
Punjab and
Akshay,
Haryana.
I'll tell you why.
We on the other hand.
1 minute. I'll tell you
we
why.
on the other hand.
Oh, listen, Akshay. Well, listen to me. Why I'm dismayed by your response, and the question will be asked. I'm telling you, of course I will ask it. Of course I will ask it. Mr. Taneja knows the question is coming to him. Of course I will ask it that why cannot a central government get 3-4 states together and fix this and find some kind of a solution? It's being talked about year after year. I'm telling you, today when I was thinking about let's discuss pollution, my thought was that this is the same thing we're discussing again and again, and the fact that you would see it from such a narrow prism of why are you asking me Delhi government, why aren't you asking government of Punjab, shows how cut off you are from what the people are really suffering, which is why I'm dismayed by your response.
I am stating on record that between January and September, Delhi's air quality is far better than October, November. I am stating this on record. There is data to back this claim.
Where else?
We are citizens of Delhi. We have to face
Are
the
you going to
problems
get a medal
of
for
poor
it?
air quality because of the farm fires in
No,
Punjab
one
and
minute.
Haryana.
Are you going to get a medal because it's better
I am
than
not asking
September?
for any medal. I am asking for. I am not asking for a medal. I am saying that you acknowledge this. Acknowledge the fact that Delhi government has worked and reduced pollution in the last 4 years.
I think
And
save
it is
that
the
for your
centre
full
and the
page
states of
ads.
Punjab and Haryana
I think
who
save
have
that
failed.
for your full page ads. Let me come to Narendra Taneja now. Save that for your full page ads.
Why won't
Save
you
that-
accept and acknowledge this?
No, I'm sorry. Mr.
Why won't you
Marathi,
accept and acknowledge this fact?
Mr. Marathi, if you're
What
hoping
stops
for
you?
claps,
What stops you from
it's-
acknowledging
you've come to the wrong forum. If you're expecting me to clap for you now, it's great, but it's not enough. It's not
Are you
enough.
a denier? Are
One
you a
minute.
denier of facts?
Let me come to Mr. Taneja.
I'm not suggesting it's enough.
Calm down.
I'm not suggesting
calm down,
it's enough.
Mr. Marathe. Calm down. Badge of honors. We're not going to be handed out on this show.
Oh, don't patronize.
Please.
Don't
Let me
patronize.
come to Mr. Taneja
Don't
now to
patronize
ask
me.
the
Don't
questions
patronize
as
me.
well.
Don't patronize
1
me.
minute. Mr. Vasudev set the context for this debate excellently because he talked about a few things that need to happen. One of them are things that the Delhi government can do, which are limited. You've said you've done them, so please praise me. I don't think that matters to the average person living in Delhi. I think at the end of the day, they will equally question people in the center, people in the state, and wonder why these solutions are not coming forth. So let me come to you, Mr. Taneja, on what the central government could have done and has not done. Now we know the stubble burning problem is also a big part of the issue. We already have a model in central government, for example, like the GST Council. I'm not saying use the same model, but for example, where you have seen that across states, you can bring some cooperation in on very contentious issues. Don't you think that insufficient efforts have been made and it is a failure that we have not been able to find any solutions to what we see every year in Delhi? And if September is better, that's great, but it's not good enough.
You see, the issue is too serious really to reduce it to BJP versus Aam Aadmi Party, for that matter any political party. It's an extremely serious issue. I live in Delhi and we suffer from it. Our children suffer from it. Millions of children in Delhi ask the parents, they have to rush to emergency care and for a treatment of when they get asthma attacks and respiratory issues and all that. So let's not reduce it. It will be a shame if we reduce this debate to BJP, Aam, Congress and all that. I am not going to do that. You see, the point here is there are serious issues. The fact is that the Delhi government and my chief minister, I live in Delhi, my chief minister, all he's doing is putting out ads every morning and telling me Delhi is now not as polluted as it used to earlier. But I live in Delhi. I breathe the air. I know it. It's not true. And on the top of it, I have to put away those advertisements. That's not how it works. Now the point is, it's not about politics. Mr. Vajpayee was very, very right. Largely, I will go along with him. Because what we need is basically, where is the cockpit in Delhi government where these issues are handled? Where are the policy makers? Do they have the expertise on the issue? Answer is no, they don't have expertise. They don't have capability. They don't have capacity. That's what it is. The issue faced by residents of Delhi is too serious. Ask the kids who are suffering.
Yeah.
Now the point is we need a seamless kind of coordination between the central government, the Delhi government in areas like environment policy, the climate policy, transport policy, energy policy, urban development policy, and so on and so on. How many meetings have happened? How many meetings the Chief Minister of Delhi has asked, let's say, with the central government and various arms and wings of the central government on this issue?
Okay.
Answer is very frustrating. Now the point here is that, just let me complete. It's a very serious debate. Let's not reduce it. And let me complete what I'm trying to say. All I'm saying is that what we need, as far as the central government is concerned, am I suggesting that we have done enough? No, we have not done enough.
Okay.
But we have taken a number of new initiatives in terms of fuels, going to, Bharat standard Euro 6, in terms of, EV policy, in taking electricity, everywhere and all that. But is that enough? Answer is no, is that not enough? Politicians, including we have failed the people of Delhi. The fact is politicians of all hues and colors have failed. We have politicians, policy makers have failed the people of this country. It's not only about Delhi. Ask Faridabad, ask Gurgaon, ask Firozabad, ask Patna, ask Jamshedpur, and the list just goes on. So we have to rise, go above politics when we discuss these issues. This is about our health.
Yeah.
This is about the health of our children.
No, I appreciate that. And this is, the thing is though, you
also
have
to hold people accountable.
Yeah, no, I'm coming to that. I appreciate the fact that you say politicians of all hue have failed the people of Delhi and Faridabad and other places. But I have to ask those in governance if they have done enough, because the responsibility lies with them. Akshay, before I come to you, Kailash Vasudev wants to come in, and I think he's best placed to bring this point. I don't want to reduce this to did AAP do enough or did BJP do enough, but did the central government really play its part? Because beyond a point, the Delhi government has limitations to what it can do.
Let's look at it in a slightly different manner.
Okay.
Since 1992, we have been trying to clean the Yamuna. As per statistics available and figures available from the Office of the Accountant General in Delhi, till the year 2009, they had invested 962 crores in the cleaning of the river. Between 2009 and 2019, 10 years have gone, you've invested another 1,000 crores. Have you cleaned the river? First, because that is a pollution matter. You have permitted unauthorized illegal housing on the banks of the river, which has taken away the power of the river and removed all the greenery from there. You permit the holding of supposedly religious functions and dramas and all that on the side. No penalties are imposed, plastic waste comes in. That's one part of it. Let's look at the pollution situation. Delhi comes in the NCR. NCR has 4 states. These 4 states come within the National Planning Board. How many meetings have taken place by the central government on the National Planning Board to discuss and to prevent pollution from the fields of the north? I'm not aware of any. I'll stand corrected if there are any. Third, insofar as Delhi itself is concerned, why are we cutting trees all over the place, permitting the cutting of trees in such large numbers? Metro cut 78,000 trees in 5 years. 78,000 full grown trees with crown densities of over 50. Those are trees which are 100 years old. There's been no replacement. The condition is the replacement of trees in the ratios will be 1:10. We say, no, we won't replace 1:10 trees, we will plant 1:100 shrubs. That's not an answer. You see, the view today is short-sighted. You are doing nothing on the wholesale or on the large scale in the larger interest of the citizens of this city, or as an example, take for example Rajpath. It's a property of the NCT of Delhi. Are they maintaining the trees there? There are many trees which are dying there. Have they replanted them? I'm asking questions which we observe every day. So therefore, the attitude, the center government is saying one thing, the state government is saying one thing, very good, let them fight, but they come to the people for elections. It is then that the answers come when we ask them hard questions. They have no answers excepting for saying, we have reduced pollution between January and September. You overlook the fact that the rains in Delhi were extended, might have minimum rain, but the rain reduces pollution. it cuts PM 2.5, it cuts PM 10. Nothing else does it. Your machines are not working, your equipment is not there, your talking is there, yes, I accept, great, but effectively nothing on the ground. And if this doesn't take place, I can assure you 5 years from now, our children will be running more to hospital than we've ever seen before, and we don't have proper hospitals.
It's a disaster.
It's very upsetting for us to say this on TV.
No, but it's true. It's the sad fact is that it's true. The sad fact
Your
that
forest
it's true.
cover has come down in Delhi to 2%.
Okay, Akshay wants to come in. And
Your forest cover in Delhi, which should be over 7%, is down to 2%. They say, no, we have got green cover.
okay, let me take up.
What are we talking about? I'm sorry, but this is disturbing.
It is disturbing. Let me take up specific points. Let's not make motherhood statements right now. Let me take up specific points. And you know, the point that Mr. Vasudev has raised about 78,000 trees cut for the metro project. The plan was to replace every one tree cut with 10, but they have been replaced with shrubs instead, which just doesn't cut ice. It doesn't have the same impact that it should have. The fact that forest cover has reduced. What is your response to problems like these, Akshay?
You see, it may have come across that when I was saying that Delhi has reduced 25% of its pollution, that means we have already achieved the world and now we are satisfied.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. We are not satisfied. We have a plan for the future also. It's not that this is it and this Delhi has already achieved success. We are doing a lot of things. We have done things in the past. I want to just point out a few of the things that we have done. Because this is a constructive debate, because this is not about partisan politics, let me just point out to your viewers and to you that in the last 3-4 years, some very important measures have been taken by Delhi and the people of Delhi. Number one, we have 2 big thermal power plants in Badarpur and in Rajghat. Both of these power plants are recommended by the GRAP to be shut down between the months of October and December. However, we took a step forward last year and now we have shut down both of these thermal power plants for the entire year and we don't intend to reopen them. We are planning to open biodiversity parks in their place. Number 2, we have incentivized all of Delhi's industries which were working on extremely polluting fuel in the past.
Right.
We have given them subsidies to move to cleaner fuel and 95% of all of Delhi's industries
I'm short on
have now
time,
moved
so I'm
that
just going to
cleaner fuel
request
because
you
of
to
which
keep
we
it
are
brief.
breathing slightly cleaner air.
Yes. Akshay, I'm short on time, so I'm just going to request you to keep it brief.
Limited point I'm making is
Yeah.
Delhi government has a plan. We are working on reducing internal sources of pollution, but we need to talk about the external sources of pollution that are, suffocating us in the months of October and November.
No, the fact is both the governments have to work together with other governments. There's no avoiding it whether you like each other or not. Mr. Taneja, I'm short of time, but I'm going to give you the last response with a hope for a way forward that you will talk about those meetings that Mr. Vasudev has been referring to, that they will happen, between states to figure out how to reduce the stubble burning and its impact.
Well, I think the most important thing is to move aggressively in the direction of electric mobility. Whether the Delhi government, they should bring in more electric buses, CNG buses, and electric mobility is the answer. That because it's all about energy policy at the end of the day. And second, which is very important, the most important stakeholder of the whole thing are the people. I think it's important that people actually they go and vote and elect only those people who care for the environment, those who care for their children, those who are dedicated work for for green Delhi and green India. Because if we're not able to, development has no value, no relevance if we can't really make sure that people have clean water, clean earth, and clean environment and clean air. Without that, development has no relevance, absolutely no value. So I think it's important, is the time for the people, the biggest stakeholder, the people, they must rise to the occasion and make their voice heard.
I hope that happens, but unfortunately, the true fact is that pollution is a major issue across the country, but doesn't turn into an electoral issue. Electoral issues are usually dominated by more emotional pitches. it is, you're right, up to the people to make sure that they don't waste
We are
that vote
getting
of
there.
theirs.
We are getting there.
Well, we're seeing what's happening in Maharashtra and Haryana, and the issues don't seem to be anything about the real issues. Let's hope it changes in Delhi. Let's hope for some real solutions coming out of here. I have unfortunately run out of time. Sorry, Rumi, I couldn't come back to you. But thank you to all of you for joining us on the India Development Debate, where we intend to keep the focus on the issues that truly matter.